Today we're going to show you how to make the Chamomile Toddy. Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm Derrick Schommer. Today we're going to show you how to make the Chamomile Toddy. This is a hot toddy variation, and like everything else, the hot toddy comes in tons of variations. We've already shown you a couple. Now we're going to show you another one. Again, we partnered with the folks over at Niche Imports to be able to bring you a hot toddy recipe featuring Barenjager honey and bourbon liqueur. The Barenjager folks have both their honey and bourbon liqueur, as you've seen in a couple of our last videos on hot toddy variations. And of course, the standard honey liqueur. This is available in all states, and you can find the honey and bourbon available in many selected states. And if what I said confuses your mind, head over to barenjagerhoney.com. They'll give you all the information right there. The Chamomile Hot Toddy recipe is as follows. 2 ounces of Barenjager honey bourbon, lemon wedge, orange slice, cinnamon stick, 4 ounces of chamomile tea, hot, and a little grated nutmeg, optional for your garnish. You're gonna build in a glass, pour your hot tea in there, call it good. Got my hot water in here just to keep the glass, the mug, to keep your vessel warm. Because you're gonna build a hot cocktail, you want it to be hot. Just like when you're building cold cocktails, you often pre-chill, especially in a martini glass with that ice. Reverse it. Let's start with our Barenjager honey and bourbon. Do 2 ounces. And as I've said in the past, this is 51% bourbon, American bourbon. I think that's the only way you can have bourbon. And 49% Barenjager honey liqueur. And when it comes to hot toddies, you're bringing those two things together. Tons of hot toddy cocktails call for a whiskey and a honey. We are doing a one-stop shop in this recipe, and by using a single product to be able to do both those things. Now, I like the aroma and the flavor of lemon, so I'm just gonna drop that right into our honey bourbon. I'm gonna add in the lemon wedge. Oh wow, this is a lemon wedge. Orange wedge. I'm gonna add the orange wedge. The very super big orange wedge. Think ahead when you're cutting your oranges. This is a really big orange. And I think they call that an orange slice. 4 ounces of chamomile tea. I've already infused this. Oh, and it's really hot. Oh yes, yep, that's warm. Let's not burn yourself. Oh, no burning. Sweet. We're gonna add a cinnamon stick, because a hot toddy just isn't a hot toddy without a cinnamon stick. Freshly grated nutmeg. Do you want to use freshly grated, or are you gonna use the stuff in a bottle? Do whatever you want. I'm going to use freshly grated because I'm on YouTube and I want to look like a pro. Pro happening. Sweet. Done! Now let's give this little concoction a taste. Ooh. Smells awesome. Has like that orange zest paired with the nutmeg kind of coming together. Nutmeg reminds me of kind of anything to do with the holidays. Eggnogs, apparently toddies. Let's do this. Ooh, it's medicinal. It's got that herbal chamomile flavor, which is slightly different than the last drink we did, which paired Earl Grey and rum together, Link, for a recipe that was a little bit more of a kind of straddles a line of little balance of sweet and bitter and all those different kind of flavors, the honeys. This definitely has more of that medicinal quality because it's bringing that chamomile flavor, where Earl Grey is a little bit more in the background and brings that body of acidity. This is bringing that body of like a flowery herbal flavor, or herbal if you're here in the United States. It's not incredibly boozy or overpowered. You're bringing that chamomile tea against 35% ABV, 35% alcohol by volume. That's what it is. So it keeps that standard toddy kind of flavor and tightness with the sweetness of the honey paired against the bourbon. Yet the chamomile is interesting, and it brings in a different flavor. If you have a problem with the massive acidity of an Earl Grey, this might be the way to go. If you want something that's got a little less of that herbal quality, link above for the other video we did that's more of a standard hot toddy, the kind of like the baseline, where you start when you're starting to bring in variations of hot drinks into your recipe list. Hey, don't forget, like and subscribe to this video. Also, I did have a little bit of interest on these mugs. If you're like, hey, where would I be able to get one of these? These mugs, you can't purchase these mugs. But send me an email, and while you're at it, send that email over, attach the receipt that you used when you bought your latest bottle of honey and bourbon or your Barenjager honey liqueur, and I'll see if I can hook you up with one of these mugs. It's not a contest. It's just something that we've had some interest, people going, wow, that's a really cool mug. So you know what? Show your support, and I'll find some support to show you back. You know, this is really tasty. Yeah, I like the orange flavor that comes into this. That's a very interesting flavor profile. And I like chamomile tea. Sidebar, hot toddy playlist, and the last video we did, which featured Earl Grey tea brought together against this honey bourbon and some other key players in there, like star anise. That's it, my friends. We're teaching you how to drink.